Hello everyone. So today we have to talk about UPSC Mains 2021 GS Paper 2 question number 7, which is about Earn While You Learn scheme. So we'll talk about it, but before that, let me show you something. So in the previous video, we're talking about question number 6. And in question number 6, the question was about primary health structure. And I have told you that I will show you my notes, but I forgot actually when I was making the video at the end. When we have done the whole question, I was not able to show you. So the question was about primary healthcare system. And you can see the notes here. We have discussed the points, the important points. Bhore committee, do remember, we have talked about what is the definition of primary health care or health structure, importance, everything. Then the previous question, the question number 6 was not asking about what are the steps taken by government to promote primary health structure. These are some points which you can even use if they ask you another question. It's not like UPSC will ask the same question again on primary health structure. So like Ayushman Bharat, it is about secondary and tertiary care. Ayushman Bharat is about secondary and tertiary care. But even there is one component in Ayushman Bharat where they're converting 1.5 lakh sub-centers to health and wellness center. That is a primary health structure component. National health policy, we have talked about it in the previous video, that National Health Policy 2017 is saying if government is spending 100 rupees, out of that 67 or more, they should spend on primary care. ASHA workers, then this is RMNCH plus A, that is reproductive, maternal, newborn, child and adolescent health. You can talk about all these schemes. I have to show you something, and that's why I'm showing you these notes. My handwriting is like a doctor's handwriting. Very few people understand it. Sometimes even me, I'm not able to understand my own writing. So shortage of PSC, primary health center. These are some issues plaguing primary healthcare in India, that there are shortages of sub-health centers. And even if we have primary health centers or sub-health centers, they are not meeting the standards. Then the one part which you need to add, or which you can add when they ask you a question on primary healthcare, is if we don't address it, then the ninth dimension of Vision 2030 will remain unfulfilled. Now, this is important. There are 10 dimensions in Vision 2030, and this was introduced, or this was given by government in interim budget 1920. So what are the different dimensions? Let me show you that, and then we'll move on directly to question number 7 without wasting any time. Just a second, ma'am. So what are 10 different dimensions? So there are dimensions which talks about so many things. Rural industrialization, I will show you. And let me just escape this out. And the ninth one is talking about health. Then there is talks of hunger. All these things are there in the 10 dimensions. So these are some different dimensions. Let me make it bigger for you so that you can see it properly. 10 dimensions of Modi government Vision 2030. And here the ninth dimension is healthy and distress-free India with comprehensive wellness system for all. So do remember it. Just a second. So yes, here also you can see the 10 dimensions of Vision 2030, and the ninth one is about healthy India. Ninth one, and no need of remembering all the dimensions. You will, if you're seeing it again and again and again, you will be able to remember it. Remember it. Interim budget 1920. To remember it, in which particular budget this Vision 2030 was introduced. Okay, so have a look at it. What is rural industrialization, clean rivers, development of coastline, etc., etc. Hunger, if there is any question on hunger, you can talk about the eighth dimension of Vision 2030. Now let's come to this question, earn while you learn scheme. And the question, when you see this question, because education, health, they are there directly in your GS paper 2 syllabus. So many things will come in your mind, like Gandhiji's Nai Talim, because when we write essay related to Gandhiji, we talk about this, Gandhiji's Nai Talim, where he said that knowledge and work, they're not separate. Knowledge and work, not separate. Not separate. Then what is the basic concept of Nai Talim? That learn while you earn or earn while you learn. Then you can also think about National Education Policy 2020, where they're saying that they will start vocational education. I'm just telling you what you can think about, but will that be the answer? We'll see. How you have to frame your answer, that is also an art which comes when you practice a lot of answers. So see this part, vocational education to start from class 6th with internship. So all these things will be in your mind, that you can use this or you can write this. But are they asking these points? Then you can also start by talking about what is vocational education, that it is promoting a learning culture and curriculum which emphasizes on enhancing productivity, efficiency, and performance. Then you can also think about, I'm just telling you what are the points which you can think about. Success of vocational education in Germany. Then you can talk about the benefits of vocational education, that how it is leading to diversion from rote learning to skill development. So here you're talking about skill development. Skill development. Then you can also think that these kind of schemes, they increase avenue of self-employment, they increase employability. Why? And this is a very important term. Whenever there is any question on vocational education, you have to talk about a term called employability. And why you have to talk about this particular term, employability? Because according to India Skills Report 2018, do remember the name of this report, sometimes it becomes handy. Whatever information we have, now we have to see how we can phrase it according to the demand of the question. India Skills Report 2080, they are saying that unemployability across all educational domains in India is around 54.4%. That is almost, let's say 100 students are studying in different educational domains. More than half of them are not employable because they don't have the skills. So this point you can say that these kind of schemes, they increase employability, which is a dire need of the hour. And it will make, these kind of schemes will make a person job giver rather than job seeker. Great. So these are the points which can come instantaneously in your mind. Some of these points or most of it, or even some points beyond these points, but how will you frame it? So I'm just giving you my view. You are free to add or subtract things from it. So what you can do is you can start with Gandhiji's Nai Talim. So you can talk about that Gandhiji's Nai Talim, what it stressed. So it stressed on the fact that knowledge and work are not separate. And Gandhiji's Nai Talim, you can use it for introduction, or you can even use the definition of vocational education for introduction. So Gandhiji's Nai Talim stressed on the fact that knowledge and work are not separate, and you can learn while you earn, or you can earn while you learn. So keeping this core ideology in mind, who has launched this particular scheme? Let me show you something, and then we'll come back and we'll talk more about this. So if you go to PIB website, so PIB website is opening, and this is a very old scheme of Ministry of Tourism. So Ministry of Tourism has launched this particular scheme, Earn While You Learn. And it is, so you can start, like first you will talk about Gandhiji's Nai Talim, and then you can talk about this Earn While You Learn scheme. Now, since UPSC has asked this Earn While You Learn scheme, so other PSCs can directly ask you that Earn While You Learn scheme is a scheme of which ministry. So be ready for that if you are giving other PSCs as well. So keeping this core ideology in mind, Ministry of Tourism is implementing a scheme titled Earn While You Learn. And it inculcates appropriate tourism travel traits and knowledge among trainees to enable them to work as student volunteers. The keyword here is student volunteers. Then what else? So the scheme provides short-term training dedicated to travel industry to college-going students who are pursuing graduation or who are already graduate, but the age group should be 18 to 25 years. So between the age group of 18 to 25 years, they're providing this training, short-term training. Now you have given the introduction part. Since this is a 10 marker, you can directly come to the point. What is the point, or what is the actual thing which they're asking? That how strengthening Earn While You Learn scheme can make vocational education skill training meaningful. So you can give that heading, and then you can write some points that it, first point you can say that it promotes a learning culture and curriculum. These kind of schemes promotes a learning culture and curriculum that emphasizes on enhancing productivity, efficiency, and performance, which is the core attribute, or which are the core attributes of vocational education. So this is the first point, how you have to relate, man. Whatever you know, you have to relate. Productivity, efficiency, and performance we're talking about here. Then the second point you can talk about that schemes like Earn While You Learn, if we strengthen them, it leads to diversion from rote learning to skill development, thereby making vocational education skill training meaningful. Then you can talk about that it increases avenues for self-employment, because if you know something about tourism industry, you can open some setup of your own. And then you can talk about it will increase, strengthening these schemes will increase employability. And then you can give the fact which we have talked about earlier, what India Skills Report 2018 was talking about. India Skills Report 2018, that more than 50% of the students are unemployable. So it will increase employability because they are there in the field, they are learning while they're earning. So they know what to do, what not to do, what to learn, what not to learn, right? Sometimes even in UPSC, they say that it's very important for you to understand what not to learn, because you're reading GS and the syllabus is almost infinite. If you want to read, you can read all throughout your life. Fine. Then you can talk about that it will make a person job giver rather than job seeker. So you can write all these points. You have 4 or 5 points, and then conclusion is very important. Sometimes what happens, many students, they don't write intro, they don't write conclusion. Do try to write at least one line intro, at least one line conclusion. So in the end, you can talk about that. Hence schemes like earn while you learn, or earn while you learn, along with the provision of NEP 2020. And what was NEP 2020 saying? That it is focusing on starting vocational education from class 6 with internship. So the conclusion will be, hence schemes like earn while you learn, along with provision of NEP 2020, which focuses on starting vocational education from class 6 with internship, will go a long way in making vocational education and skill training meaningful. So you have to keep on reiterating the core part of the question so that examiner may feel like you are not deviating from the topic. So that's it, man. So in the next video, we'll talk about question number 8. That's it. Take care. Be blessed. Bye-bye.